Hi, everybody, and welcome to another exciting edition of Beer Garden. We are going to Sha Tin this weekend. We have an incredible 10 race card coming up with 3 races on the all-weather track. And of course, in race 8, we have the second leg of the 4-year-old classic series with the Hong Kong Classic Cup. And we are here. We're going to bring you our picks for the 3 all-weather races, and of course, as well as race 8. And we're not going to miss out on our best bets as well for this card. So let's get right into it. We're going to go to race 2. It's over the all-weather track at 1,200 meters. Steve, which horse are you looking at for this race?
Oh, I went for number 9, E Honey, drawn 4 under Lyle Hewitson. He's a horse that I liked early on in his career, and I thought he'd win before he has. He's taken 15 runs to actually get off the mark, and it was a surprise to me. A surprise to most people, 47-1. And he's run 2 good runs since on turf, but he obviously makes special interest now back on the all-weather surface where he's 1 from 2, 50% strike rate. He's still up a mark of 29, which is obviously a far cry from the introductory mark of 52. And it's a nice winning opportunity, hopefully, for Lyle Hewitson, who's been riding very well following his unfortunate injury, and he just needs a win to really convert that good riding form. So for me, yes, E Honey hopefully can win in race number 2.
Yes, I like this horse. I think the barrier draw sets him up perfect here on the all-weather track. He got an incredible win in December, which paid really nice. So those of you that had this horse, congratulations there in December. So I'm looking forward to see how he is. And Joe, who are you taking here?
I'm going to take number 12 with Matthew Chadwick, Gold Mission. He's a 6-year-old gelding, and I don't think he's won a race yet since he's been to Hong Kong since 2019. But now he's coming back to form a little bit, getting second, third, and he was third in the all-weather track about 3 races ago. He's been losing by about a length and then about 2 lengths, but I think going down in the rating a lot because he was first initially in a class 4 race and now he goes all the way to the bottom of a class 5. I think he'll run okay in this race, and I think he'll be up to the speed since he's drawn number 5. So yeah, I'm going to go with number 12, Gold Mission.
Yes, a good horse showing great improvement over the all-weather track. I do agree with you, Joe. He should be the pace setter of this race. We'll see how he does. Hopefully he will close in on that win. And Charene, who are you liking in race 2?
Yeah, in race 2, I will go for the top weights, number 1, Boys Party, because here in this field, there are 5 horses, number 1 to number 5. They will be down in class 5 on Sunday. So I will go for number 1, Boys Party, because this horse is sired by Vancouver. So this type of horse should like the soft ground, especially for the all-weather track. And actually, Boys Party did show us some ability over the all-weather track in December and January before. Last time out, he finished 4th behind Trader, Star of Yunlong, and Flying Dragon. They are all very consistent in class 4. And also before this start, Boys Party had an impressive barrier trial on February 18th. He went 3rd, just very close to some good horses, including Hawking Pond and Fantastic Way. So hopefully, Boys Party is now ready to win in a class 5 race.
Yes, I do like this horse a lot. I agree that trial where he's racing against tough company, I mean, really shows a lot and says a lot about this horse. And to come in at a class 5, he's showing some great improvement over this all-weather track. I think he's going to make a very impressive race here. And my pick for this race is 5, Fortune Happiness, jumping out of barrier 11. He's dropping in class, but we do get Morera. Morera is back. So we're getting him aboard. So hopefully we get kind of a similar trip as he had with this horse a few races back. I just think the drop in class is really going to help this horse. He's showing some really strong form here. I mean, in 2019, he had an incredible year, pulling out that hat trick as he did over the same distance on this all-weather track. Not a bad 2020 or 2021. So I'm hoping here with Morera is going to get a great position here with 5, Fortune Happiness. So to recap race 2, Steve is on E Honey, Joe is on the 12, Golden Mission, Charene 1, Boys Party, and I have the 5, Fortune Happiness. Let's go to race 3, where we have a class 4 1,200 meter, 6 furlong race over the all-weather track. Steve, which horse are you looking at here?
I went for number 2, Flying Dragon, drawn 4 under Wagner Borges. He's only won once this season, but he's been consistent. And it was 3 runs ago that he won over course and distance. And then the next time, he was really undone by the draw. He was in barrier 12, did the best he could. He finished a very good third, but just couldn't quite get to the leaders. And then last time, it's easy to forgive the last run. He was 3 wide on the back straight, then a bit keen. And then he basically had nothing else in reserve when he got into the straight. And that was back on turf. And I think it's obvious that he prefers the all-weather surface. So hoping that Flying Dragon from a good barrier in 4 can return to winning ways under Wagner Borges.
Yes, 2, Flying Dragon. He's going to need a clean break. I really like his barrier draw here. I agree with Steve. I think his strongest performances you're going to see on the all-weather track instead of the turf track. So we'll see how he does here. Joe, who are you liking?
I went with number 5, Fiery Diamond. He's drawn number 1, so he's going to be close to the rail. But I think that's where you want to be on the all-weather, especially if you have a little bit of speed. And he has shown a little bit. He has Joe Moreira back on board, and with Joe Moreira, I think that's a big upgrade to what he's had before. He had Victor Wong, Ruin Maya, Matthew Poon, and Jerry Chow. And they're looking to get a win with him. He has 2 seconds back at Sha Tin on the all-weather, and he almost won with Matthew Poon against Valiant Elegance. So, yeah, I'm going to take Joe Moreira, race number 3, horse number 5.
And Charene, do you have a very similar pick?
Yes, Bryce, I also agree with Joe because I also like number 5, Fiery Diamond in this race. This is quite a nicely raced 4-year-old, and obviously he is more suitable for racing over the all-weather track than the turf track. And this time, because with Joe Moreira on board and also Gates 1, I think that he can make use of the good draw to get the rail. And obviously, because we see that Joe will return after the suspension, he has a lot of good rides, and I think that Fiery Diamond in race 3 is definitely one of his winning hope on Sunday.
Yes, I think the barrier draw sets this horse up perfect with the Moreira aboard. That is going to be a very dangerous horse in this race. I went with the 8 here, Thunderstrike, with Lyle Hewitson aboard, coming out of barrier 9s, back-to-back on the all-weather track. He does get a drop in weight. He's had a couple runs over this track before where he really showed impressive form and even getting a win in a rather not the smoothest race. He kind of got tossed around a little bit. So if he gets a clean run in this race, as this horse seems to be a little bit all over the field, but if Lyle can really dial this horse in, I feel confident that him coming back to the dirt here really going to show a one heck of a performance. He's going to have that really deep closing move here. As soon as Lyle clicks him into gear, this horse should really take off. Excited to see how 8 does. It's 8, Thunderstrike. And to recap race 3, we have Steve on 2, Flying Dragon, Joe and Charene on the 5, Firing Diamond, and I have the 8 and Thunderstrike. Let's go on to the final all-weather race on this card, which comes in at race 5, which is the class 3 over 1,200 meters. Steve, who are you liking here?
I went for number 9, Lightning Bolt, drawn 8 under Karis Titan. He's had 2 good runs for Danny Shum. He's very unexposed. And last time he was 5th to the unbeaten Flying Ace. And it's a race that's working out really nicely because Armour Eagle, who finished 3rd, won on his next start. And Gallant Express, who was 4th, won on his next start. And even the 2nd, Super Fortune, finished 2nd to Gallant Express. So the 2nd, 3rd and 4th have all done very well out of that race. And of course, Lightning Bolt was 5th. So a very good chance there. Everyone's Victory has a good chance. His last 5 runs over course and distance, 2-1, 2-1, 2. So if you like patterns, he's going to win again. And Trader won well last time, but the race went his way. Super Axiom ran off just went far too fast. And Flying Dragon, my pick in the earlier race, he was drawn wide in barrier 12. So a £9 rise seems a bit harsh for Trader. So I like Lightning Bolt. Hopefully he can open his account in Hong Kong.
Yes, we are excited to see. Hopefully he can get a nice performance here in Hong Kong. He hasn't quite raced on the all-weather track here, but he has done it before over at Kempton. He's just showing nice form, though. Over this distance, I think is perfect for this horse. So we'll see how Lightning Bolt does. Joe, who are you taking here?
I took number 4, which is Private Rocket, trained by Douglas White with Daniel Moore on board. He does have some all-weather form when he was in England, in the UK, at Kempton Park, and he's ran first, second, and third there. Then when he got up to the all-weather track, he got second, but then they rarely tried him on the all-weather when he was going down in class, and then they tried him last year in July, and he got a second under Jerry Chow, and then after that, a couple months later, they tried him again, and he got 5th. So I think his all-weather form is going to be okay in this race. I mean, his last race was pretty bad, but not so bad as it looks. He was 11 out of 12, but he was only 4 lengths off. So I think he has a really good chance in this race, especially since he's going down in class from class 2 to class 3. Now he's around the class 3 mark, and yeah, I think we'll get a good ride here. He's drawn number 4, so I think he's going to close in late. So Private Rocket for me, horse number 4.
All right, I like that horse as well. And Charene, which horse are you taking?
Yeah, in race 5, I'll be keen on number 6, Everyone's Victory. I'm happy that Steve just mentioned about this horse. I also think that he improved a lot this season at 4-year-old. He had 2 wins over the all-weather track, but that were in class 4. And then the last time out, when he was up to class 3, still not bad. He chased well and ran second behind Majestic Star. And before this race, he is back from Chongfa as usual. I think that he is still fit right now because his rate remains consistent recently. The field is quite open here. The main threats will be Private Rocket and Lightning Bolt. I also agree with that. And hopefully this time, Everyone's Victory the gate 3 can help him to stay in an ideal position. So I will go for number 6, Everyone's Victory.
Yes, Everyone's Victory. And as Steve mentioned already, if you're into patterns, he's 2-1-2-1-2. So yeah, if that's what the pattern says, he could get the win and continue on. So what a great horse, improving nicely. So I'm excited to see that. I am also with Joe here on Private Rocket as well. You said a lot of my notes already here. But I really do think this barrier draw is going to set him up perfectly. He can get cleanly out of that gate. He's just gonna sit there and really wait to make a move. I think we have yet to see what this horse is really going to bring to the Hong Kong tracks, and I feel like this race we're going to see it. So Joe and I are both on the 4, Private Rocket. Steve is on 9, Lightning Bolt, and Charene is on 6, Everyone's Victory. Woo! Now let's get to the big race of the day. We go to race 8, which is the Hong Kong Classic Cup. Oh my goodness. 1,800 meters, 9 furlongs. This is going to be an exciting race. A lot of tough competition here. Steve, which horse are you taking?
This is a fantastic race, isn't it? As good a Classic Cup we've seen for many years. I decided on Rocket Spade. I think he's a very interesting horse that will be a nice price. And he's drawn in 3, which is good. Blake Shin keeps the ride. And he arrived in Hong Kong with much fanfare because, of course, he's the New Zealand Derby winner. And so we know that he has no problem with the trip. This 1,800 meters will be right up his street. And I think he was a bit unlucky last time. He didn't really get a good run at things. And I think we can mark up that run. I think it's also an interesting race because after the first leg, of course, the likes of Romantic Warrior has gone up 16 pounds and the Irishman and Turin Redson, they've both gone up 10 pounds. So it's almost like it doesn't really matter they've gone up because it's a conditions race, but it looks like they're favoured now. But it just seems rather excessive that they've gone up so much. And as I say, these horses, your California Spangles, your Romantic Warrior, they have stamina to prove, whereas Rocket Spade doesn't. And I think if you go back to his 4th on his Hong Kong debut, that was a really encouraging run over 1,400 meters. So I'm hoping for I hope he gets in the shake-up and gets placed at a decent price, Rocket Spade.
Yes, Rocket Spade has made an impressive debut on the Sha Tin track coming in from New Zealand and has just been improving over and over here. We'll see how he does. I like this horse. This is a horse I kind of went back and forth from, but like Steve had mentioned, we got a lot of talent coming in on this field. But Joe, who are you taking?
It's a really tough field. I went for a little bit of an outsider with I'm a Single Man. Now, California Spangled drew 6, and last time in the other race he drew wide. Now Romantic Warrior is drawn one of the widest. So I think those two things are going to kind of counteract each other to where a long shot could probably win. So I am going to take I'm a Single Man with Matthew Poon, and he's not claiming any kilos in this race, so no apprentices can claim. So he has to go on the set weight that he is 57 with everybody else. Now he has some form back at Ascot when he was a 2-year-old, and he won at a grade 2 race or a group 2 race after he won a listed race on debut. So I think that he did have a really, really good run in that race, the last race out, and he does have some talent. I see after the season, like towards the end of the season, he was starting to show form, and then when he got to this season, now he's showing it because he hasn't gotten anything below a 5th. Everything has been pretty good, and he ran on really well, but California Spangle was just too fast, and I think that was a little bit detrimental to his closing. And Romantic Warrior is going to try to go for 6 in a row, but I think that I'm a Single Man, if he could get the run down the crown of the course, I think he could try to catch whoever's in front. It's probably going to be California Spangle because he is drawn number 6, and he does get Zach Purton, but I'm going to go with a little bit of value with I'm a Single Man, a grade 2 winner. So that's my pick in this race.
Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. He's coming in against a lot of familiar company. He knows what he's up to, but I do think the barrier draw sets this horse up perfectly. Charene, which horse are you taking?
Yeah, in this year's Hong Kong Classic Cup, I also think that this is quite tough. We see that there are 2 horses owned by the same owner. That will be number 5, Senatoba, is going to be my best bet. And also number 8, Walker Spade. They are also owned by the same owner before coming to Hong Kong. And this owner also always owns some horse in Australia and New Zealand. And they really hope that their horse can claim some victory in the Hong Kong 4-year-old Classic Series. And hopefully Senatoba can have some good runs on Sunday, because at the beginning of this month he was withdrawn, but after that he had several good gallops after that, and so I think hopefully it may not be a serious health problem for him. Before coming to Hong Kong, Senatoba ran 2nd in the Queensland Derby, and after arriving Hong Kong he also won a Class 2 race over 2,000 meters in December. He has the class and already proved that he is able to have some good performance over this distance. And this time jumping from gate 9 ridden by Joe Morera, I hope that he can stay in the midfield, and then because here in the race the pace will not be that fast, so I hope that he can stay in a good position under Joe Morera. So I will go for number 5, Senatoba.
Yes, Senatoba has been consistent and improving so nicely ever since coming over here from Australia. And those past 2 barrier trials that he has under his belt, it really shown some great form. So he's going to come back into this race on top of his game. And I went with the 2, Romantic Warrior. Like Joe had mentioned, can he get his 6th win in a row? He's 5 for 5 right now. Can he keep it going? I hope so. He's stretching out, but this horse seems, no matter what you throw at him, he will overcome whatever challenge. We have Karis Titan aboard. The wide draw is going to prove to be a little bit difficult for him, but he has great tactical style, and Karis knows how to maneuver this horse to defeat any challenges that come upon within the race. I do think his biggest threat here, as far as speed-wise, though, that could get in his way would be California Spangle, who's all speed. But this horse, he knows how to get over it. He is my best bet as well. I'm taking my chance here with him as my best bet. Hopefully I will get a win here with the 2, Romantic Warrior. So to recap the Hong Kong Classic Cup, Steve is on the 8, Rocket Spade. Joe is on 4, I'm a Single Man. Charene is on 5, Senatoba, and I have the 2, Romantic Warrior. So let's get on to the best part of the show, our best bets for the card. Steve, who is your best bet today?
I went to race number 10. It's a Class 2 over 1,200 meters. A fantastic way to end the card, and I took a fantastic way to win. A very nice horse. He was unbeaten on his first 3 starts, And he's so consistent. In fact, he's in eight runs. He's never been beaten more than 2.5 lengths, and that was last time behind California Spangle when the draw was really against him. I think he's got a very good chance this time. As for the dangers, where do you start? There's so many. Trillion Win has a great chance, but he, of course, is carrying top weight. And Stoltz bids to land the hat trick, but his last 2 wins have been over the 1,000 meters at Happy Valley, so he's got a bit of a culture shock here. He's going up in trip and also a different track as well. And Cordyceps 6, another interesting horse, but he's stepping up in distance too. So I mean, we've got Joe Moreira back in the play in the irons. Gate number 5, fantastic way for me in the last.
Yes, 4, fantastic way. That is race 10 with Moreira aboard. Tough competition. I know all eyes are really going to be eyeing down Stoltz to see what this horse can bring, but I think this horse is going to be an exceptional threat here to this race. And Joe, who is your best bet for the card?
Best bet comes in race number 7 or over the 1,400 meters, and that is with Gold Empire. I tipped him before, and he ended up defeating everybody in really good fashion. He did get another run after that and was a beaten favorite with Zach Purton, but then he did get a third in his debut race with Ruin Maya. So Ruin Maya is actually on him this time, and he's drawn 1. And I took him over, and I think he's going to get overbet. And I think that that Ruin Maya will provide the great value for Gold Empire, because right now they're about $1 each in the Australian market as opposed to like what we're going to see. But yeah, I think Golden Empire, beaten favorite. I don't think you could completely throw him out. And then on his debut race, he placed 3rd at $67. So yeah, I'm going to take Golden Empire again. Last at Happy Valley, I took Cheerful Days, and that one ended up winning for me again. So I'm going to go with it. The same thing with Sha Tin, Golden Empire, horse number 2 in race number 7.
Yes, improving form quite a bit, stretching out. Ruin Maya, I think, is going to give this horse quite a nice run here. So it's race 7 2, Golden Empire for Joe's best bet. And Charene, who is your best bet?
For my best bet will be in race 8, the Hong Kong Classic Cup. I like number 5, Senatoba. Just like I said, this horse has really good form overseas, and when he arrived Hong Kong, also won a Class 2 race over 2,000 meters. And actually, Casper Franz, the trainer, said that this horse just skipped the first leg, just skipped the Hong Kong mile, because it is not good for him to go back to a mile. So because this time 1,800 meters would be a better distance for him. So I will be looking forward to Senatoba in race 8.
Yes, Senior Toba. My best bet also comes in race 8 too with Romantic Warrior. I don't know what more is left to be said about this horse, but I will be rooting this horse to get 6 for 6 in a row. We'll see how Romantic Warrior does. But I do think Senior Toba is going to be a very challenging horse. It's actually a horse I went back and forth with quite a bit to see if I was going to play him or take Romantic Warrior. I landed on Romantic Warrior, but we got 2 nice horses here. So to sum up our best bets for the Sha Tin card, we have Steve, whose best bet is in race 10 for Fantastic Way. Joe is race 7, 2, Golden Empire. And both Charene and I's best bets come in race 8. Charene has 5, Senior Toba, and I have 2, Romantic Warrior. Ooh, we got through quite a bit of races. We actually covered through a lot of races for the card. I hope everyone has wonderful luck this weekend, and we will see you next week for Happy Valley.